Welcome. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Wojciech from Metaphoric Tools workshop, and this is the, let's say, first lesson, or even not lesson, first approach to a Native American style flute, or so-called Love Flute. And I will, since I'm making these flutes for the last 10 years, I want to start this presentation from a moment as if you would have just received your flute, and what happens next, how to approach it, how to relate to it, how to start. And this movie is about this, how to start, how to begin. So when you receive the flute, if it's from a workshop, it would look like this after you unpacked it from its tube or box. So before I start unpacking, I want to share, if it is an intentional instrument, if you really want to relate with this instrument, not make it another object or another something, stuff, then I would really suggest that you give yourself the right time space to actually unpack the instrument. Make sure nobody will disturb you, as if you would be preparing for a meditation or approaching time for yourself without disturbance. So I would suggest to do it like this. It's maybe nice to light a candle or go to a favorite place in nature if the weather is supportive, or simply to make space inside and really come into contact with yourself, and from this contact with yourself slowly unpack the flute. It's like starting a new relationship. To really approach it, it's important to be in contact. So I unpacked this beautiful D minor oak flute, and well, honestly, when I receive an instrument, I connect with it, I touch it. There is a paper attached, and I will come back to this in a moment. But first I really look, check, also check if everything is okay after the shipment. What is this? Maybe you know, maybe you don't know. So and in this little paper you will read what tone it is, what wood it is made of, some information on how to take care of the flute, and maybe most important, at the other side is the bracket with all the possible tonalities of flutes. And if you receive the D flute, it would be a D line mark. I had a ready paper with an A flute, that's why the A is marked. And I will describe this in a moment, but also very important part, which is also stated in this paper, is this fetish. The fetish makes the flute play. It's not only something that looks nice. So, if it was like this, for example, when the flute arrived, it is very important to place this fetish right at the edge of this inner wall inside. I hope it is visible. I don't have a screen to see what you're seeing. But the fetish has to be aligned with the wall in the flute, so that this hole is open, but it's not open too much or half closed. This is the, let's say, optimal position of this fetish or bird. And then another thing, sometimes these leather straps, they may get loose, and then this is all loose. If it's all loose, it is important to really make sure that they are tight. Of course, when doing this, consider that it is a natural leather and you can pull with all your strength, but you can pull to make sure that it is tight. And the second one also tight. Oh, much better. And when it is tight, and it is good to check it each time before you start playing, because it makes all the difference. And when it's tight, I wonder what this strap is. And the Native American flutes or Love Flutes, they are pentatonic scale. That means that within the flute, each sound is in tune with one another. When using a basic fingers, boom, 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 boom. But here is an extra hole. For the start, it is covered for the comfort, but in the future, you are very welcome, and even it is recommendable to start using it to go beyond the pentatonic and experiment with different combinations of sounds. And again, this will help you a lot because these black parts are the pentatonic. They are always marked on this bracket. And the ones that are not marked with a color, they are all the sounds in between that it is possible to play on these flutes. All these tones. And below are shown the fingering, which hole to open, which hole to close in order to achieve a particular sound. That is more advanced, but it gives a lot of possibilities. And so, when I have seen everything, how you start and the fetish is ready on its place, you close all the holes. That way the flute gives the sound of the bass tone, the tuning of a flute. This is not the bass sound. This is a bass flute, and I blew too strongly. So it went an overtone an octave higher. Still something is wrong. So what I do check is I check if all my fingers are really covering the holes, and then the blow is not too strong, not too soft, but direct. Like I would be like when the food is too hot and you blow the food to cool it down. You blow it a spoon of a soup. Still something wrong. And when I look, I can see that one hole is not covered, and then the flute will sound terribly. So I again place my fingers precisely on the holes, covering them. The hands are not too stiff if possible. Then I try again. And when starting, and if you never played the flute before, I suggest you really give yourself time to play this basic sound, to really listen to it, to try how it works with a bigger pressure of air, how it works with a smaller pressure of air, how it works. And give yourself, let's say, space, and don't allow your critic to come in and start doing his blah blah about you cannot play any instrument and now you think you're gonna play a flute and stuff like that. Please don't do it to yourself. Be compassionate. And the very fact that you allow yourself to receive an instrument, to gift yourself with an instrument, with a willingness to play it for pleasure, not to be a musician, a professionalist, or I don't know what, but to express your breath, allow this to be as it is. And enjoy. And you will start enjoying, for sure. And then when this bass tone is really stable, you can start and making fingering, and the basic practice in this flute is simply going pam 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 and down pam 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 pam. So it's pam 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 pam. It's going up and down to recognize the sounds of the pentatonic, to get to know them a bit and feel how they feel. Which is your favorite sound, for example? This is a bass flute, so it's really easy to overblow it, and it is a tendency in the bass flutes. If it's a F or E or D minor, then with a bass note the blow has to be shorter, softer. And the opposite, if it's a very high pitched flute, it may require a stronger blow. So check with your own flute how it works. Each one has a different dynamic. And you can practice your fingers and your playing by doing this simple exercise also. Slowly faster and faster, but in a way that there is a rhythm in between each note. It's not like some of them go fast and then slow, or there's always a finger, like for me is this finger that is maybe more stiff, maybe it works slower, so simply to work it out. And gradually I will continue with other movies, but for the start, simply feel the sounds, enjoy, recognize the flute, see how it works for you. And all the best in this journey. I can only share that I started playing these flutes after I built one, and I never played these flutes before. And I'm not a professional musician. So they are really, really, really joyful and very light in learning how to play. With this basic pentatonic that I have showed, this 6 sounds, you can make so much. Enjoy. and hopefully see you on the next lesson when I will show maybe some more tricks.